Boy, it's a mountain.
Mountain boys, you mean? Boys?
A mountain boy.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Improperly Packaged, a show where we unbox topics related to movies, TV, and games. I am Jordan. With me as always is Luke. How are you doing, Luke?
I'm here. I'm here as a distraction.
As a distraction. Okay, I see you got some decor. You've decorated your office space a little bit. A little Back to the Future, a little Walking Dead, still Pepsi.
Like in the minimum amount that one could decorate. I found those and I put them back there.
Oh, here's this. And here's that.
There was very little thought or effort put into it, but
well, I like it.
they are.
That's our podcast, right? In a nutshell.
Two great pieces of entertainment back there. So
yeah, I agree.
That is. Here it is.
You got season 1 of The Walking Dead and Back to the Future.
Yep.
Ah, boy, how you doing? All right, man. It's December 1st when you're listening to this podcast. It
is indeed. The year just keeps on trucking by. It's nuts. I mean,
yeah.
You know, what, 10 months ago, like, we're in the hospital giving birth to my son. Crazy.
Yeah.
His 10-month anniversary birthday. I always think that's weird when it's like birthday. It's not a birthday. It's like an anniversary of the, it's not a birthday until it's the actual like year thing. And I don't know how that, anyways.
Yeah, you're celebrating that you as parents have survived and yet another day of being a parent.
That's the main thing. We'll celebrate him on the year. Each month is just wow, we did it. We made it somehow, some way.
Have you decked your halls with boughs of holly?
Yeah, we've done a bunch of things. Yeah, we got some landscape lighting that's not really Christmas related, but like we got some solar lights for the plants.
Nice.
That's something we've been talking about doing for a while and really like that. But we also put lights up on the house and put a little greenery and put some lights on the fence. Christmas tree is decorated and up, both of them. Actually, Indy has one in his room too. So there's like 2 mini trees and then like the full size one. I like that the tree we put in the living room actually scraped the ceiling. Kind of proud of that when I put it in.
I'm sure Clark.
Like, wow, this board's bigger than I thought. I had to clip the top so you could get the star up there.
It's just a little full.
In true Christmas Vacation style.
So I'm right now I'm enjoying a truly the spiked seltzer water, and this is their holiday brand. This is apple spice.
There you go.
It has like a sort of like an apple cider thing going on. So like it's definitely like a holiday feel when I'm drinking it. It's it's a thing that's going on now during Halloween or fall, I guess. Bud Light had their own hard seltzer, and it was like the flavors were out there, to say the least. Like, this is seltzer water, mind you, hard seltzer water. Right. This isn't like some cocktail. This is seltzer water spiked.
Say no nonsense. This is seltzer water.
Yeah, it's not. You can't fool around too much, right? And so when you start throwing out flavors like pumpkin spice,
right,
and like and most infamous of all, toasted marshmallow, it gets nasty. It can get real nasty. So I went with Truly this time. I appreciate the festivities, Bud Light, but that toasted marshmallow nearly killed me. So I'll give Truly a shot this year or this season.
We had the gelato or gelati place open up, Jeremiah.
No, where's that at?
Butler Plaza, right next to McAllister's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's been open for a while. We get it, maybe once a week or once every other week or something. So they have had these Christmas flavors for like the last, 3 weeks or something. And they're those flavors where you look at it and you're like, that sounds like it might be good, but I don't know. I mean, am I going to enjoy that as much as I like blueberry or peanut butter? I mean, the quintessential flavors for that kind of thing. So just so everybody knows, it's not the Italian gelati. It's like the ice cream and the Italian ice. Like it's the cheap man's gelati. It's not
Oh
that
wait,
expensive, fancy stuff.
what are they called? Bees.
Jeremiah.
Oh, Jeremiah, you said that because okay, there's another
Yeah,
like
that's a food truck.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So this is like an actual like shop. It's where the popsicle place used to be.
Oh, Hippo. Oh,
Yeah, Hippo.
I drove by that today. I don't know what I'm thinking, and I've said,
It's really
"What's
good.
that?"
So yeah, it's like one of my favorite like cold treats. I like it more than just plain ice cream.
Yeah.
Anyways, I got the gingerbread one last night, and I mean, it was gingerbread. I don't know what I expected, but it was just like so much gingerbread. There's something about gingerbread that like, you have like if you have like a gingerbread cookie, it's like, okay, this is good. And then you're like done.
That's it. A little
You
goes
have
a
like
long way.
even like half a cookie. You're like that's enough of gingerbread. It's more of an intense flavor than I think a lot of times, at least I realize.
Right.
Kind of covert intense. And so like by the end of that thing, I'm like, I never want to taste gingerbread again. This is too much.
And like I know it's not
like vanilla ice cream like broke it up a little bit, but
yeah, and I know it's not a full gelato, but like even partly, I mean, gelato is really heavy and rich to begin with, and so
yeah, this is not that at all. This is the soft serve ice cream with the Italian ice.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about? There's like it's really an Italian ice place that also has soft serve ice cream, and when they put them together, they call it a gelati.
Okay, it is kind of what I've
different from the
experienced.
Italian gelati, which we have one of those as well around here.
Oh, okay.
It's excellent, but yeah, this is like the poor man's treat that like there's like a million different franchises I've seen around. I think Lakeland has like a I can't remember. It like rhymes with gelati or something. It's like Gelati Joe. That's what it was. Gelati Joe. It's goofy franchises that pop up like this.
I think I highly prefer a gelati to a gelato because it's just, as I said, it's too much. Where I'm just like, and I can only imagine like if it
and it's pretty expensive too. So.
Yeah, too much money and too much flavor. So yeah, no on the gingerbread gelati.
Yeah, definitely too much.
Yeah, that's never been one of my go-to holiday treats. A gingerbread man or a gingerbread anything, I guess.
Yeah.
Does it have to be a man? Could be a house. Could just be a wafer of gingerbread. I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, we haven't gone whole hog on too many holiday snacks yet, but I don't know. We might have to shoot. What are some holiday snacks that people like?
Eggnog.
Eggnog, yeah. I mean,
cake.
Cake.
Like
I guess cake's
fruit
good.
Cake. Fruit cake.
Oh man, do I even like Christmas snacks? I don't think I do.
I mean, I don't mind gingerbread cookies. There's like the peanut butter kiss cookies. Like basically, cookies are like the main thing I feel like with Christmas. But those are really good.
Really yeah.
You put like a kiss right in the middle of like a peanut butter cookie. Those are my favorite by far. I don't mind, just decorated Christmas cookies. They're fine.
Yeah, they're fine. Good.
I'm not a big fan of sugar cookies, but they're okay.
Yeah. Let's do this, Luke. Let's talk about what we've been watching / playing / listening to.
Talk about the really important things.
The realness.
Real meat.
Yum. I believe it's your go this time, I believe. You're first.
Okay. I want to remind people now that it's Christmas of a couple I'm gonna be doing this the whole like Christmas time, even though technically it's not December, but
it is when they're listening to it, baby.
It's Christmas time. So Fairy Tale of New York is like just one of my favorite Christmas songs, and Gavin James, I kind of like to remind people of this every year. Like that song, I don't know, that song's just so good to me. Like the writing of it, it incorporates like the love of New York and Christmas together into like just I think a really cool song. I think the Punch Brothers, or I can't remember. There's somebody who does like the old, the original. They're like an Irish band. But Gavin James does a cover of it that's a more modern take on it, and it's really good. So I want to remind people of Fairy Tale in New York and Gavin James's version. And I want to throw one more song in there,
please,
because I have so many to recommend. So I'm just gonna throw a couple out. 1225 by The Maine. You and I have talked about it before. It's just so good. It's just it's a very modern version of a Christmas song that's like, more poetic and just fun, lighthearted. Just talks about Christmas stuff. So
right,
it's great.
12:25. I have a couple things, but it's interesting. I'm gonna talk about movies in this sense as well. There are songs that aren't Christmas songs but reference Christmas, and like those are like my pre-Christmas time build up things. So I have that with movies, and I'll talk about how I kind of treat movies in that way, where I'm like, okay, all right, hold Jordan, slow down, but let's start ramping up, and I'll listen to Christmas songs that aren't Christmas songs. I'm talking like um Jimmy Eat World. Was it 12/24/97? Shoot, what's that freaking song called? Well, either way, it's Jimmy Eat World song. All there is Merry. They just say Merry Christmas at a certain point in the song, even though it's not a Christmas song. Another example is Muse. It's a song called She Came Home for Christmas, but it's not a Christmas song at all. They only just say She Came Home for Christmas at the end of the song, and nothing else in the song is about Christmas at all. And there's like a few songs like that where it's like they just reference Christmas, and I'll be like, all right, yeah, now's the time. But I don't know, I'm random in my ways, almost like a religious fervor for like what, where and when, and like what I'll listen to or watch like right before December 1st. But anyways,
12/23/95. Yeah,
12/20. Wow, that was
that's right. I
way
haven't listened to
closer
this song
than
in
I
a long
thought.
time.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't remember what you were talking about, but oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh, this album.
Yeah,
They have a new
love
like
it.
Phoenix sessions on Spotify of the whole thing.
What?
Oh, Table for Glasses, Lucky
Clarity
Denver
is an album.
New Aesthetic.
Clarity is just, I don't know. It is an album.
Well, they also did Surviving. They did Futures.
Oh,
Yeah,
I missed
cool.
this. This is new, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
So cool.
I know what I'll be listening to for next week.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, it sounds similar to the original, so I don't know. I guess just kind of let's take it and replay them in the modern day.
I say let's do it. What have you been watching / playing, man?
I actually been watching a few things this week. First of all, just a quick thing: the Halo Infinite multiplayer. They have an event going on, so they're kind of starting to like, show how things are going to be in the future, and kind of they're giving you a little bit more meat to like, level up and get more, goofy gear for your guy. I still wish there were a little more like cooler things to get, but they're getting there. I think they'll probably have a strategy that I don't know about. But anyways, they have this event. It's like Techno something. It's like, anyways, you unlock the samurai like version of the armor and the Spartan armor.
I was killed by someone who was wearing that. So
yeah. So it's like this legendary armor that's been sitting there since they brought out the multiplayer, but there was no way to unlock it. And so I've unlocked that, and I've been playing that. I think I'm up to like level 19 now. I've been flying through. They give you like a double XP, and the challenges, I feel like they're getting a little easier. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I've been unlocking a lot more of the achievements when I play. I like make a point to like try to do that, get a double kill or get a headshot, or kill somebody with a ghost or something like that. It's just it to me, it adds something. It gives something a little bit more fun. So there are things that I wish that Infinite did like Halo 5, but then, so far there's been a few things that I would say I wish Halo 5 had also done. But I'm enjoying it immensely. It's just a great game, really well designed multiplayer.
Next week's got that campaign coming out.
Yeah, really excited about that. So the other thing, well, several things, but the other big thing is I watched the first episode, which is an hour and a half of the pretty much, I guess, pretty big hit show Yellowstone that I've kind of been sleeping on from Paramount. And yeah, like I said, it is an hour and a half. So it is a full blown movie, and it covers a ridiculous amount of ground in an hour and a half. And I mean, I came away just blown away. Like the production value is top notch, and it's the kind of show that I really enjoy watching. I think some people would find the drama and the talking and the character development slow, and I wouldn't blame them for thinking that at all. But for me, like I really love the what is it, Wyoming setting, or
Mm-hmm.
no, Montana, the Montana setting, and
Stone.
like the very obvious cowboy, style to the whole show. It's basically a modern day cowboy movie, and there hasn't been a lot of movies that have done that. Was it Hell and High Water?
Hell and
Not
High
the movie.
Water, sort
Um,
of No Country for Old Men.
yeah, that's a good one. Maybe even There Will Be Blood. I guess depends on how you take that movie.
Yeah.
But there's there's not a lot of movies that take this like very modern. Like this feels like
modern day
it's
westerns.
something that's happening like right now. And just shows what is probably not far off from what's kind of goes on in those kind of places, like land disputes, development, contention, and I don't know, a lot of stuff that just sets up a lot of fun scenarios for me to like see where it goes. And I don't know, it's a show you have to watch to kind of see if it's for you. I think so far for me, it's definitely for me. It's this weird thing. It's on Peacock the first like 2 seasons, even though it's a Paramount show. I guess NBC had some kind of deal with CBS or Paramount, whoever, to stream it before they released, Paramount Plus. So the rest of the seasons are on Paramount Plus, but
not the first two.
Like the first two, I think I'm remembering. It may just be the first one, but at least the first season, if not the first two, are like on the iTunes where you can buy them, and on Peacock. Yeah, so weird. So they're held behind a paywall, so you can watch the first episode on Peacock, and then you have to get the $5 ad version or the $10 ad free version of Peacock to watch the rest of it. So I think we're probably going to go with the $5 and just watch it all at once, and then move on to Paramount Plus. But yeah, I definitely would recommend this show.
Okay.
Just from the first hour and a half watching, I think it's one of the shows they clearly they went all out on the production, and it's just top notch talent and acting. So
I've had coworkers
highly
rave
recommend
about it, so I'll have to give it a look. I've heard a lot of people talk really positively about it, so
yeah,
give it a watch.
I mean, Kevin Costner, he's just he's a seasoned actor that just it comes out in shows like this. Just he plays that calm, collected, like older person that's been through it all, seen it all. He's not surprised by anything. I mean, it's just a perfect role for him. And I think you'd enjoy it. I love the setting. The setting honestly is just, it just warms my heart. Like that part of the country, I think, is just absolutely gorgeous. Like rolling plains with snow-capped mountains in the background, and it's so for me. So I love those
where seldom is heard
and
a discouraging word.
Yeah. It's the best.
Yeah.
Giant, Western ranches, just so cool. So definitely recommend that.
Cool.
So the other thing I finally got around to watching Cruella. We sat down, one of the nights that everybody was together for Thanksgiving and watched Cruella, and yeah, it's a good movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's surprising like that it works on any level, and
yeah,
I don't know.
It wasn't my kind of movie. It wasn't, it just wasn't a movie for me. But there was good production and pretty good acting in there. For me, it works on most levels. But yeah,
what do you think of that banana scene?
Banana scene. Been watching and playing a lot, Jordan.
I'm sorry, it's repulsive. Like there was she got in garbage or something like that, and there was a little sliver of banana stuck to her face, and she ate it.
It's like the tiniest little part of the movie. I didn't remember what you were talking
was
about.
Burned into my retina.
Yeah.
I was like, like it was
of all the things. Like, why not a blueberry?
Oh,
why not a strawberry slice?
Oh, all right. Sorry.
Bananas.
Disgusting.
And then the other thing, which is fresh off the presses, 8-Bit Christmas. HBO got released. Did you get to watch it too?
No, I'm waiting. I saw it, and I'm like I said, I remember saying to Amber, I was like, Amber, this is it. We are watching this one and watching it quick when December rolls around. So yes, I'm looking forward to it. What'd you think?
I really enjoy it. I think you're gonna love it. I mean, it's the type of story that's right up your alley. And at first, when it first came on, like somebody asked me, like, is this a Hallmark thing? So, it has that feel a little bit in the beginning. I mean, it's very different from Yellowstone, but as the movie rolls on, it's just great. It just hits all the like nostalgic notes, and it has a good cast of like kids that, play out the story of, I don't think it's a spoiler to say like Nintendo related quest that goes on.
Yeah.
And so there's just a bunch of kids there that are just lovable and are just doing just the kind of stuff that you and I love in really any movie that we watch, but especially a Christmas movie. It's just, Christmas really, as you get older, like it's really more and more about the kids. And like this just plays on that so well about like that parent, like child relationship and, gift giving and just like season of giving. I don't know. I'm trying to be like broad, but like descriptive as well. So yeah, there's just a lot in here that you're going to really enjoy.
Yeah, it's mandatory viewing for this season.
We'll have to talk more about it after you watch it.
Looking forward to that. Yeah, I'd love to. Cool.
It's on HBO Max for people that want to know. And the last thing, I watched another episode of Shrink Next Door, so still plugging away at that. Like still I said, I'm enjoying that. It's it's not amazing, but I'm enjoying it. It's a good show. It'll be interesting. I don't feel like the story's gotten to a place where I like know where they're going yet. So there's still a lot of like shroud of mystery in each episode. So you can just tell there's something coming by these like weird things that people say and act. It's like, okay, everything's not right.
Something is going to be revealed.
Yeah, it like showed something at the beginning to show you like things change entirely from how you see it. So something's going to change. You just don't know in what way. So yeah, enjoying that. How about you?
Well, several things, man. I have the week off. I mean, I am starting a new job come Monday, but I gave myself like a holiday sort of. And so I've been trying to watch some stuff and play some stuff, like finish a few games, but I'll try to be quick. As I said, pre-Christmas movies include movies like Hook, where there's Christmas in it, but it's not a Christmas movie. Movies like About a Boy, where there's Christmas in it, but it's not a Christmas movie. But I ended up watching only one I wanted to highlight really was a new one for me. It's a Disney animated short. I think it came out in the early 2000s, late 90s, something like that. Again, there's this is just like 7-minute long thing. So there's like a quick little some imagery of Christmas, but not like, it's not a Christmas. It's not a Christmas short. Man, the little matchstick girl is probably the most aggressively depressing things I've ever seen Disney do. I was like, I couldn't believe it. My jaw was agape at how that thing ended. It's the most like, it's just sad as can be. It's beautiful. It's really well animated. The music's nice. It's one of those, there's like wordless, soundless, really. It's just the music and the imagery of this poor girl selling matches out in the streets of what looks like, I guess, old time Russia. And she's
the little match girl.
Yeah, sorry. And she's fantasizing of a better life. And
there's like so many versions of this, so I'm not sure which one you watched.
It's on Disney Plus.
There's so many.
Yeah, it's a gosh, man.
This is not a Disney property. This is
It's
like,
not. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I shouldn't say like they did
there's
this to me.
2006, 1902, 1987, 1937, 1987, 2018, 2017,
Uh,
2012, 1912.
this one says it's 2006 is
Yeah.
when this was made.
That's like the top result. So,
and the description
figured.
says it takes place on Christmas Eve. And
because I know I've seen this like a long time ago, but it definitely was not the 2006. This was like growing up. I saw like some other like old version of this. I'm not even sure which one. I'm looking through all these. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what I was supposed to take from this because it's just.
Yeah.
I recommend it in that way, just to kind of it's so short. You know, you can just kind of see it and go, holy crap. And they're just kind of like gawk at just how crazy sad it is and just kind of move on. But yeah, holy crap. All right. So next up, I
think it's this 1987 version. I think
that's the one you saw?
John Riles Davies.
Oh, wow.
William Daniels.
It's a live action.
This was the one. Yeah.
Huh. Mm-hmm. Is it a movie or is it a short as well?
Yeah. No, it's a movie.
They did a whole movie about this.
TV movie.
Again, how did maybe I need to know. I need to know more probably about the source material because just watching that short, it was just like,
yeah.
Oh my god.
Very sad.
Extremely. I ended up seeing Encanto in theaters. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, that's kind of what I got, Luke. I mean, it's, you know, this is my thing. You know, this is my kind of thing. Animated Disney musicals. Mm-hmm. You know, this one's another Lin-Manuel. I'm going to be talking about him again and watching / playing in just a second here. But yeah, this is another one of his. You know, he also worked with Disney with Moana, and yeah, you know, the music's really great. The characters are fun. The story is unique. It's just I don't know. Like for some reason with me, this isn't. I don't think a lot of people. I think a lot of people are gonna feel this way. This isn't one of those like iconic Disney movies where you're gonna be like, oh yeah, you're not gonna see a lot of Encanto T-shirts and kids running around with the characters on their shirts. I think just because of this movie is a little bit more a smaller kind of movie, similar to Brave, where like it takes place in and around this house. I say that, but people do get behind Brave as far as like the imagery and everything. You see a lot of people running around with I forget that character's name from Brave, but whatever. You know, there's a lot of good stuff in this movie, a lot of a good message, good music, and it's beautiful. And I'll definitely be watching it again at some point in my life. But yeah, for some reason it didn't blow me away. I kind of, you know, I always kind of want that when I see a movie like this. Like Moana did blow me away, and I was like, man, I just love that movie. But yeah, Encanto, it was just good. You know, it was warm-hearted and just a nice family movie. I don't know. One thing I will say though is I feel like Lin-Manuel Miranda, like when it comes to his songwriting, this is probably one of he didn't have a ton of catchy songs in this. I feel like as far as his songs go, he usually is really good at like a hook or making a hook and like having really memorable songs. Like after I left the theater, I found myself like trying to think of some of the songs and be like, okay, I'm gonna, I can't really, none of them really like came to me. And like, I'm pretty good at remembering melodies and stuff like that, but it didn't really stick with me.
There's so many people that are credited with writing this.
Really? Like the script level or the music?
There's 6 people that are credited with writing the movie.
Jeez Louise.
Including Lin-Manuel.
Wow. So he did some of the script as well.
I guess so, yeah. It says story by, but it says that under like 6 other people.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, moving on to the next Lin-Manuel thing I checked out. This is interesting because he didn't do the music for this one. Which usually this is his first time directing a movie. It's a Netflix movie called Tick Tick Boom. I don't know if you saw this when you're scrolling or heard about it. It's somewhere being advertised. This is starring Andrew Garfield. Actually, this is
That's why it sounds familiar.
yeah, he's been like this. He's been promoting this, obviously being harassed about being in No Way Home and whatnot. But yeah, this is an interesting one, man. It's a the Jonathan Larson is who the movie what the movie's about. He's the guy who
It's not on IMDb. That's weird.
That's weird, huh?
Yeah, like I easily find it when I Google it, but it's not listed on. Maybe because I didn't do the commas. Sorry.
You need an ellipses for it to work.
That's it. That's it. You have
That's
to like
it.
spell it exactly
Are
right.
you serious?
Okay.
Come on, IMDb. Be reasonable. Yeah. So first off, I think the thing that a lot of people are like gonna wonder going into this, it's like a musical, but like with Andrew Garfield, and like he can sing. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and answer that question for you. He can sing quite well. It's actually, I was like, all right, that's pretty impressive. And the movie itself, it's very unique as far as like how they do this. So Tick Tick Boom, Jonathan Larson, he's the one who created Rent, and unfortunately he like suddenly passed away, like before the thing even like showed, like before the like on the preview night. I think he died of an aneurysm. Very scary. But this movie doesn't even cover that. This is like pre-fame. This is like him striving as an artist in New York, just trying and trying and trying and trying and trying, and kind of just hitting his head against the wall, knowing you have something great and just trying to make it happen. And like there's nothing even about Rent in this movie. It's like what he was working on and what never got off the ground before that. And Tick Tick Boom was actually his first play. It's like, so this is based on this one-man show that he did before Rent. It was a very small thing. This didn't like take off at all like Rent did. But it's a like autobiography. I can't say that word, but it's just about
Autobiographical.
Thank you so much. And so he did this one-man show. So all the music was actually by Jonathan Larson, all this stuff. But the way it's done, it's not done like a one-man show. It's like, it kind of like cuts between like the what he's telling in that one-man show being dramatized, and like the musical moments happening in like the real world. But sometimes it'll cut to him on stage kind of doing it. When I say him, I mean Andrew Garfield. But it's more them in the real world, and not actually like representing the one-man show, him on stage. So it's mostly like done traditionally, but it's just it is very interesting, and it's crazy just like the content of it, just like how he's striving, and like the whole Tick Tick Boom like concept, even like originally how he was like feeling like he had to get something done, and he had so like this big work that he had to get out, and he felt like his time was running out. It's almost spooky like how he really thought that. And then I don't know if it's like self-fulfilling prophecy or anything like that, but then to have such a sudden and tragic end, even before
35.
even before seeing the fruition of his work. But that being said, it doesn't really focus that much on that. It's really about just kind of like being an artist, and like balancing that with like your life, your love life, your friends, your family, and all that stuff. And it doesn't really like have something it wants to tell you as far as that. It's not like go out and get it, forsake all others. It doesn't like, you can tell it's not like really trying to play sides with that. It's very much just like, this is a conundrum that a lot of creative people face. And and it has its benefits and it has its cons, and this is what this guy went through. And man, also for Lin-Manuel's first directorial debut, this is impressive. This would be a hard movie to do. This isn't straightforward. This is unique, and he obviously has a passion for this sort of thing. Obviously, I mean, he's a theater geek, and Jonathan Larson is like, like he did Rent, and that was like a revolutionary thing in the world of theater. Like I'm not a theater geek. I do like musicals. I'm not like the characters in this movie. Really, I don't see myself as them. But that being said, as someone who is creative at all, like there's a lot to relate to there, and also it's just entertaining. Garfield has a great performance, and it's just an engaging, great movie. I actually recommend it for sure to anyone. Um, yeah, on Netflix, so it's ease of access. Check it out. Um, I finished a couple games. Sometimes I'll have a game just like teeter on the edge of being finished. And for whatever
Right.
reason, I like get distracted or whatever happens, I like walk away from it and I was like, no, I'm clearing some of this stuff out. I'm clearing it out, finishing it. Sackboy's Big Adventure has been a game that I started playing at the launch of the PlayStation 5 and I never finished it. I had
Right.
like only like a handful levels left in the main boss, and so I blasted through that. It's a fun game, it's a charming game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Got great reviews.
yeah, it's very good, very creative. I found myself going, wow, they're still like surprising me with cool like level design towards the end of
Mm-hmm.
this, where it's just like every now and then there'll be something where it's like there's like liquid, you're like platforming down this like hallway, and like liquid is like almost like it would in like a washing machine, like kind of, and you have to like wait for
Mm.
it to like it's this cool. I don't know.
What game would you say is similar to this? So I can kind of get an idea of the gameplay.
Super Mario 3D World. It's kind of like
Mm-hmm.
it's a 3D game, but it's a 3D platformer. So like it's not like a 3D like Mario 64 or even like Ratchet and Clank, where you're like, here's this area,
Yeah.
go and collect stuff and run around. I mean, it's like that, but in a limited fashion. The main goal is to get to the end, but it is
Puzzle.
three-dimensional. Yeah, yeah.
Like puzzle platformer.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, it's very there is some puzzle aspects to it, but it's very much like, make this jump, or or avoid these traps and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's but it's not super Twitch as far as like that stuff goes. It's not ultra hard, even though it's not like super easy either. It's straight in the middle. Um, but yeah, it's an accomplishment, I would say, as far as that. Sumo, I think, is the one who did this one, Sumo Interactive, and
Mm-hmm.
they did a great job. Um, Kana, Bridge of Spirits. I started this one a bit ago. This is an interesting one, man. It's more of, it's like an indie game. Like it's nominated for like best indie game. Like this is a small team working on this. It's a beautiful looking game, but it's a smaller game. I mean, it's sold for a lesser price, like $40 instead of 60. But yeah, I'd say it's definitely worth it. It's great production, and also like there's some really, but I don't know. There's an interesting thing here. My wife started playing this, and I had to tell her. I was like, babe, I'm not saying you're bad. I just know you're not going to enjoy this game unless you bump down the difficulty and put it on easy mode or story mode, as,
Mm-hmm.
as it says in this game, because it's hard, man. I'm playing it on normal. Like I've never done this before, but my finger was like, I'm about to put this difficulty down myself, because I was at like the last boss and I was just getting my butt handed to me, man. I was just like over and over. I'm just like, there's more. And I'm like trying to beat this
Yeah.
boss, and it's like a marathon. But it's not the hardest thing I've ever played, but I was kind of just getting frustrated, being like, man, this is just taking me a lot longer than I thought, but I persevered and I beat it. And it's a fun game. Definitely charming. I don't think it does anything super mind-blowing or super unique, but it's a good game to play. It's nice looking action platformer with some puzzle elements there. It's yeah, a lot of people compare it to like a PlayStation 2 game kind of in its design, and I kind of see that. It's not super modern as far as like gameplay is concerned, but as far as how it performs and how it looks and performs as you'd expect from a current gen kind of game. But which is crazy because it is a small team and it's their first game. Jeez. So I think it's a really good accomplishment for them as well. So, yep, that's what I got, man. I finished a couple games. I'm trying to finish a couple more. Oh shoot, I did finish the DLC for Spider-Man, which I know this game's been out for ages, but there was DLC that dropped and it's substantial. I mean, like and I 100%ed all of it. So, on to the
There's
next
just too much content. It's hard to get through everything.
There's so much crap, man. Trying to get through Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. I'm trying to, this is off topic. I'm sorry. I need to move on, but something I've realized with the Xbox, I think the Xbox Series consoles are probably the best backwards compatible machines ever. Like, so good. Like, this is something I haven't dug into because I just had the S. I feel like it only started to really benefit when it came to either the One X or the Series consoles. Have you played Red Dead Redemption on this current system yet? The first one,
the original Red Dead. I played on Xbox One, but I have not on the new consoles.
So what they did, when a lot of games for the 360, they had an X enhance. They like enhance the games for the One X, and carrying it on.
Never had that.
Yeah, and either I had the 1S, so I didn't really benefit from either of that. So when it comes now, it's the same thing. It's still enhanced for the X, and it's same for the S, only like 1440 instead of 4K. But for a game like Red Dead, holy crap! I'm like, this is great because I've been wanting to play this game, and like, only access I had with it was PlayStation Now, and it was horrible. Like, PlayStation 3 version of that game isn't great to begin with, and then you're streaming it. My God. But these games, it looks amazing. They not only like they bump up the resolution, they clean it up just a little bit. It's almost like a remaster. And I'm like, it's like this is awesome. I recommend like some of these games that like just benefit so greatly from, I don't know what they're doing here, but with this whole FPS boost and all this stuff like that, I heard they're like ramping that down. They're kind of like pulling back on the FPS boost thing. Please, I want them to keep going. This stuff is great. Yeah. Like, how much I care about these old games and them looking really nice, as good as you can get them. That stuff's, it gives me a lot of joy. I don't know.
I'm always just amazed that they can spare the manpower to work on those kind of things. Like,
yeah, what do they do? How does that even?
I'm surprised they don't have other projects to work on to be working on a game that a lot of times can be nearly 20 years old now.
I wonder if it's merely a thing where it's like, hey guys, what we can do here, we can take your game and you have code that locks it to 30. What we want to do is unlock that and then lock it to 60. Cool. Right. Cool. And then they just do it. And I don't know like how long that takes, but a game like Sonic Generations, for instance, like it just got a boost to 60 FPS. And I'm like, that's crazy. It's such an old game.
Kind of what I had been talking about, where like developer tools have gotten better. Yeah, it very well could be something like that.
Yeah,
I hope it is, where it makes it easy for them to do this.
Me too.
It must not be too difficult, for as many games as they've FPS boost at the least, if not, done even more, life enhancements.
Like Fallout 3 to be able to play that 4K 60, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's wild. That's just
the 60 to me is awesome, but like to be able to also play 4K, like what? How you do that?
It's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. Like, especially these older games just breathed new life into them. You kind of have these games that live in your memory as like how they look, like remembering how they looked, and it's always a little off. You'll put like
going back to Halo, it's like insane. I feel like it looks so much better, but
yeah,
I mean, thankfully, there's the anniversary version that does look so much better. But the original. Looks terrible now.
Yeah.
I thought it was amazing when I played it 2001.
much
Oof.
worse on the system that it was on. Like, it's one thing to like boot it up on like new hardware, but then like have it just like the resolution will be okay, but then like to boot it up on like an old console on standard definition.
Oh yeah.
My God. Like,
Yeah, I mean, they just those games are basically just locked away.
I
They
know.
might as well be in a vault somewhere because nobody's going to do that.
Yeah, I just so appreciate, even though all the crap Nintendo gets with this 64 thing, I'm just so glad I'm able to play them. I have Ocarina of Time on a cartridge over there with a 64. It is blurry soup when I press the power button on that. And I'm just like, so
if you're going to do that we complain about, just do more of it at least. Like,
right.
Just
keep it going.
I mean, if you're going to charge a lot, that sucks. But yeah, I mean, I will always be an advocate for bringing old games out of their, locked away, like play on whatever old thing. Like everything should just be brought to the future. Like just make it all accessible.
Yeah.
At least just like put it on a server somewhere and let people like stream it through their, their web browser. Because I mean, let's be honest. Like, if any games past like 2000, you could probably play it on your phone in your like Safari browser through like HTML6. Because the power that you used to need is like in my Apple Watch now. So it's like it's nothing to play these games anymore. It's always the creators want to lock it away behind something and. I get that. I mean, you deserve every bit of money for the thing you created, but when no one's playing it, I mean, what's the harm?
Right, exactly. Like certain games where I'm like, do I really have to boot up my PlayStation 3 to play Drakengard 3? It's like, and it runs like feces. It is like, it's like you forget like, wow, we accepted a lot during this generation as far as like how games would run as far as frame rate. I'm like, we're talking about 60 frames. Holy crap, these games are like chugging between like 20 to 30. It's like, oof.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, and I mean, those consoles are old enough. Even those are old enough that it should be pretty easy to play it on pretty much anything nowadays. So,
right.
Yeah, just give us ways. Even if it's subscription services, which. I get it. Subscription fatigue, totally legitimate, but at least they're available for people who are fans.
Yeah, that there is a way. I appreciate it. So Microsoft, thank you for that.
For Microsoft to do it like as a like almost free thing for like, I think it's almost free for most everything. I mean, some of it you still have to pay for, but the updates are at least for free.
Yeah, they're really good at it. They deserve to be commended, and I hope. They continue
just more people
forward.
Follow suit,
and I hope the developers aren't giving too much pushback. But yeah, anywho, so something I thought we'd talk a little bit about. I don't know how much else you have, but just to kind of follow up on some stuff we were talking about. We've been talking a lot about No Way Home, Spider-Man. About almost 2 weeks from now, it'll be out. Really. Which is nuts.
Indeed.
Crept up on us.
Year flies by, man. Time is a river. It's ever flowing.
So beautiful, Luke. I love it. So Spider Monday has come and gone, Luke. Did you have a good Spider Monday?
Spider Monday.
Yeah.
I wanted to forget that, Jordan.
No.
Why would you bring that up?
No, I hope they bring it up in the movie itself. Oh, that's a big part of the movie.
Y'all like that Spider Monday when we brought the tickets down?
Yeah, they look at the screen. No, I didn't like it, Luke. I'll go ahead and jump in. So I should have included you in this. Why I didn't, I guess, like I it was beyond me. But so I was made aware that tickets would be released at midnight, Monday at midnight. And so I was like, shoot, I'm on a holiday.
You should definitely have told me that.
I definitely should have. I apologize. I'll
never forgive you. It's okay.
I'll stay up. I'll wait till midnight and I'll get my ticket and I'll go to sleep and I'll sleep in tomorrow. It's going to be great.
Like the old days.
Yeah, except it wasn't because right when the clock struck midnight, every theater app boom crashed, and I'm here just like I don't know what you people in California are doing. It's not that late there. Maybe you guys are able to weather the storm through this, but I
I
don't
bet it was much worse over there too.
probably. Oh my gosh. But I am like, yeah, it was really rough. So I was just trying to
It's
get
crazy.
tickets. It was just,
It's crazy. I mean, compare it to all the other movies that have been coming out, since like theaters reopened and, going back to theaters became like much more mainstream. It's just insane.
it
Like,
is.
no movie has come close to this. I mean,
No.
I think the James Bond movie was the closest I'd seen to where I was like, okay, pretty busy. The Eternals, like, I didn't think it was that busy. I mean,
Yeah.
I went on like a Tuesday. I mean, it did fine, but I mean, nothing even comes close to touching the attention, the media attention. And I mean, for me to log on and see the entire theater is already completely full, it's just insane because like I'm used to a world in which people do not think about buying tickets
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks early.
Yeah.
Like they just don't. But yeah, I guess it's a little different here for Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man. This is, yeah, I was shocked as well. Like I knew it would do well, but crashing all the apps and the websites, I was like, what? And so like, yeah, I stayed up as long as I could. Then I was like, I am falling asleep. I'm so tired. When I wake up, whenever I wake up, if I wake up and like at some point,
If I wake up,
yeah, I don't know. You always got to keep that in mind, Luke. Maybe I won't see Spider-Man.
True. That's true.
But I was like, I'm just gonna go to sleep. I can't do this. So I like stay up for like an extra hour, and I was like, this is torture. And so I ended up waking up at like 4:30, and like I'm like, oh, I'm up. Let me see.
Where's my phone?
Yeah. I scare Amber.
Spider-Man!
I see my phone.
It's not working. Oh, it worked. I'm good. Good night.
It did work. It did work. But to my shock, yeah, there was already in our local theater like a bunch of seats taken. It wasn't like half empty like it ended up being like later on, but it was like, oh, there's people buying them. There's people
Not
buying
half
them.
empty. There was probably 3 seats available when I bought mine.
Goodness, there's none now. It's crazy. I haven't seen this in so long. We're finding out that it is the second most advanced tickets of all time at this point. The second behind Endgame. So
Yeah.
Spider-Man Endgame.
COVID. Goodbye COVID effect.
Yeah. This
is gone.
Yeah. Whip right out of the way.
I think what this tells you is that people do want to go to the theater, but they haven't been interested in what, these companies have been putting out. There's been a lot of duds, I would say. And not all of them have been full on duds, but I mean, we've had these conversations, I really enjoyed James Bond. You were so on it. You enjoyed Eternals. I was so on it. Like
right.
These haven't been movies that have just blown us away. I mean, when a movie is truly great, you and I agree 100% of the time. I can say that with some pretty good confidence. So, for us to disagree on a lot of these more recent movies, I think it shows like, that they probably weren't the best movies for, whatever reasons. And I don't think there's, am I missing something? I don't think there's been a movie that I would say that has come out that's just been a stellar hit, just a great movie.
Universally praised
since this COVID effect, for like a year now or something.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, it's not like they've all been terrible. It's just there hasn't been one that's just been a universal, like, that is a great movie. Well, Dune, but Dune had the effect where it was also streaming, so that really took away from ticket sales.
And Dune also, I would say, has the thing of not having broad appeal as far as like, there's a lot of people at work who would be like, Dune? And I'll show them a trailer like, I'm not seeing that. What are they talking about? So like a lot of people don't really want to know about the Quizzert Hazarat or whatever, and
but I will say that's true of Spider-Man as well.
Definitely.
I don't know that it has a super wide appeal. I mean, my wife, not that interested in going to see it, honestly.
Wow.
you know?
Yeah, I mean that's crazy, but yeah, you're right. It's not everyone. It's funny how like I don't think anything is everyone to be honest. There's things that come close.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was playing Heads Up with some
Avatar. I mean, Avatar is the only thing that's ever
for
been
some reason.
almost
Yeah.
anyone, even though I didn't really like it that much, but you know, it appealed to pretty much everyone, at least on a level enough for them to buy a ticket.
It's almost like saying 3D appealed to everyone at the time. You know, it's like just that technical experience. Really,
For some reason,
yeah. But here we are. I mean, it's where everyone's going to packed theaters again. It's gonna be crazy. Everyone's gonna be there, and yeah, it's a crazy feeling that I haven't had in a while. Like going to these, it did give me like flashbacks of like going to these like midnight showings and being concerned about your getting a ticket and also getting concerned about your seat. I mean, that's not as much a concern anymore because those like not having, yeah, no problem. All right. But I will continue. Like back in the day, like going, Luke stepped away for a little bit. Oh, I guess a little bit was very much a little bit. I was like,
I just had the fan on and I was getting a little cool.
I thought you had to go poop, or something like that. That would be I don't know. How long does it take you?
I'll hold up like this if that happens.
Oh, like field goal, like field goal.
This is the length of time I need.
I need a poop slink.
Sub-sandwich sized amount of time.
Oh boy, that'll get you.
The old too much talk on this.
We're not gonna have a poop cast. But no, like remember those days, like going to these midnight showings and being there was always like this anxiety. Like I don't know about you, but I always had like somewhat of like this anxiety of like I remember getting there and like getting in line and to make sure you got a decent seat. All that crap.
Absolutely know what you mean. I had the exact same feeling.
Right.
It was like, I don't know. Maybe this is just like a personality problem with me, but I have a little bit of anxiety whenever there's something I'm really excited about that's coming. My mind always goes to, well, I'm never going to get this or I'm never going to see that. Like whether it's a new like iPhone, it's like, that's so cool, but I'm never going to have that. And then like all of a sudden I have it. I'm like, I can't believe I have this. Or it's like a new game or you know,
Series X.
What we're talking about, like the movie. I don't know why. I was like, when like something like the Avengers Endgame or something happened, it's like I was super excited about seeing it, but it's like I don't know why. It's like, oh, they're probably somebody's gonna be sitting in our seat, or it's I don't know. It's like this. It's probably a mental issue, but you know, I don't sit there and wring my hands about it. But it's just like this little thing in the back of my mind where I'm like, oh, I have to stand in line. It's just like I worry about it until it's like there, and it's like, oh.
Yeah, so like, you're there sitting.
It's just this culmination of excitement, and then it's just like, yes. And then when it's like it's finally going, and like everyone's being like kosher around you, and not like being idiots, it's just like a huge relief where you know you sit up in your seat and you're just like, yes, finally. Like
I saw a freaking movie.
I've been trying to I've been looking forward to this. I've been talking with Jordan. I've been talking on the podcast about this. Finally can just watch this thing. There's some kind of like relief. I don't know. It's both excitement and dread kind of at the same time, where you're worried about your experience and you're super excited to see like all this crazy story that you've been talking about. I mean, and Spider-Man is exactly that for me. Like I'm not where I was before Infinity Game. I'm not there at all because I don't know if I'll ever be there. I mean, I was so excited to see, and the same thing with Star Wars. Like those movies for me were like just a culmination of a lot of years of being fans and you know talking about it. You know, obviously with like the whole Marvel universe, like everybody was excited to that build up. But but I'm not far off, is what I was kind of getting at. Like I am super excited for Spider-Man. I don't know. I hope my excitement isn't too high. I think if there's any danger, it could be that, because I just want this movie to do so many things. I want it to surprise me in so many ways. And I don't know if it can do all the things that I like have built up in my mind with this thing. And then to like see the ticket sales where they are, it just like kind of confirmed that a lot of other people are feeling the same way I am, and so it it worked
Yes.
those same feelings up that I had been talking about before. It's like, oh my gosh, everyone else is
Yeah.
feeling that, or at least all the fans of Marvel who are keeping up with the news are feeling the same way as me, where they're ready to buy their ticket on day one. Because when you go in there and you buy like a Star Wars ticket or something, and there's not a lot of seats bought yet, it's like, huh, it's just, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
remember it happening like this for a while. Like, we may be having this thing where like the COVID effect is actually like coming all the way back around to where it was like at first it was the effect of like people were scared to come to the theater. And now I think it almost might be more of the effect of like people are so excited to go back to the theater that they're like
Yeah.
starting to buy tickets earlier. Like for these movies, like I said, these movies that really get their attention, where they really get excited. So I don't know. I mean, that effect, will play out, over the next months and years to see if that lasts or how that affects like people's behavior ongoing. But
I'm glad to
obviously,
know that I'm not
it's had
alone
an
with
effect
this.
where all these people are super excited to go see it. So
Right, which it's fun to see it, but yeah, in a way, I'm right there with you, where I see that and I'm like, oh God, someone's as excited as I am. I thought I was the only one staying up till midnight.
yeah, not
That's
at all.
obviously not the case.
Yeah.
Good Lord, but here we are, and we're seeing it, baby. Thursday night, 7:10, and we'll be here the next week to talk about it. So, now that we've regaled you with our ticket buying experience and our freaking anxiety surrounding this movie, yeah, something bit of interesting news I dropped on Spider Monday was Amy Pascal. She's like one of the big heads over at Sony. She basically just was like, hey, yeah, I mean, we're gonna keep this train going with Marvel Studios and the MCU. We're going to keep going. This is the first trilogy, on to the next one. Interesting.
You had to assume this was coming, right? I mean, I couldn't see it playing out any other way. It's like, it's too much money they're walking away from. Like, the Marvel universe is a cash cow. The Sony universe is not. So
yeah.
To me, it's like, if they had walked away from it, they'd be shooting themselves right in the foot.
I definitely agree with you, but I was 100% ready to sit down and watch them cock their gun and point it directly at their foot. I mean, that's what I was.
Can you imagine? I mean, if they recast Spider-Man, I mean, that'd be insane.
I was thinking this would be a bye-bye Spider-Man for the MCU. I was expecting, as I said, Tom Hardy and Tom Holland arm in arm waving goodbye to Doctor Strange through a portal. That's how I was expecting this to end, but it might be, I don't know if Venom's going to be waving goodbye to Michelle Williams or something like that, but I don't know what's
You think Venom's really going to show up?
I don't know if he's going to show up in this, but he's going to show up.
Yeah, I do believe he's going to show up, but
I mean, I hope he doesn't. I mean, that's where I am. Right when it comes to this movie, I hope he doesn't. Like, I can, with everything else going on, I can be like, okay, I can feasibly see how they can.
Movie was so
put this
bad
together.
Carnage was so bad.
It was terrible, Luke. We really didn't like it at all.
Such a disappointment. It's crazy that a not great Venom movie is better than its sequel. Like, I mean, I guess it makes sense. There's been a lot of sequels in the past that have been bad, but I feel like in the current modern age, a lot of times movies do get better with their sequels because I think filmmakers maybe have learned from the past somewhat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I thought that Venom would improve and very much did not. So
yeah, and
for that reason really alone, I'm not looking forward to seeing Venom come back.
Show up with our Spider-Man.
The idea of Venom coming into the Spider-Man universe excites me, but just this incarnation of Venom.
Yeah. It's like at this point, it's like regardless to how, like, who's writing it, it's just the characterization has been set. Like, I don't know how you course correct that in my mind, or if they even want to, because, like, obviously I think they have this thing where they're like, oh, people love the Eddie and Venom show or whatever that's going on here where they're like buddy buddy. People obviously love that, right? So I don't know. I don't know if they
Yeah.
have the right idea of what to really even do and what people want. But I don't
It'll
know.
also be weird to introduce a character like that into a well-established Spider-Man universe
Yeah.
that's now 3 movies in.
Yeah. Is it we're talking about the potential of there being more Spider-Men in this movie. It's one thing to have well-established Spider-Men be like, "Hey guys, we're here. Bye." And then like but to say, "Hey, Venom this Venom is here now." He usually has a connection with Spider-Man, but we've done it really differently this time and I don't know.
I'm gonna have to send you something.
Please do.
You can keep talking, but I have to send you something that we can talk about.
Yeah,
I'll
but
text it to you.
regardless, this is great news though. This is really great news about Tom Holland sticking around. I mean, I'm sure I hope they think of really great stuff for Spider-Man to do. Um, I'm interested to see more personal stories for him, less
Yeah.
kind of like riding off the coattails of Iron Man. I feel like they wrapped all that off after No Way Home, but I'm hoping for more.
Probably.
Yeah, because a lot of these villains that we've had have been more Iron Man villains. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're Spider-Man villains that are like kind of retroactively made Iron Man villains because they're real beefs with Tony. But I don't know. I'm seeing what you sent me. Can I watch this? Is it okay if I watch this?
Yeah.
Stop it. Who?
We're getting live reaction. Everybody.
What website was this?
This is a hot take.
Okay, so this guy. Okay, so I'll give you a play by play. This guy on one of these ticket sites. I don't know which one this is, but he's like, oh shoot, someone's getting fired, and it says it's on TikTok, and it says on the cast list Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire in the cast list. And it's like that's wild. I wonder.
I mean, it could be faked. It definitely
Yeah,
could be faked,
absolutely.
But it is interesting.
But that at this point, I almost wouldn't be
real.
It could be. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised with so much of the things that have slipped through the cracks, pointing to this eventuality. I wouldn't be too surprised if this sort of thing occurred. And like, oh shoot, oops, But that's really freaking funny. Nonetheless,
Great.
because it is kind of the story of how where things are at right now.
There's so many places where this stuff is listed now. I don't know. It could be some intern that works for Marvel typing up stuff.
Oh man,
websites.
Absolutely.
I'm checking IMDb.
That's there too. Shoot.
Just to be sure.
Yeah, I'm all hyped, man. I mean, like, there's a lot to be excited about. Next week's the Game Awards, and the week after is Spider-Man. Like, this is we got some exciting stuff coming up. I'm excited to talk about all of it. But man, Spider-Man, this is a big one for me, man. I mean, like, even like let's say there's a situation where the other Spider-Men don't show up. Either way, man, these villains mean a lot to me. As far like the heroes obviously mean a lot too, but these specific villains, they are huge. Like, just for me, hearing Green Goblin with his voice, Peter, you're struggling. I'm like, yeah, I just want that so bad. And so I'm well hyped.
Honestly, even if they just stuck to the MC universe alone, I still love the format of this story.
Right.
And the whole like teaming up with Doctor Strange to like use the time stone, like to do a spell and whatever, all the things that he's doing. It's just like, it's such a cool concept.
Yeah, there's so much good here.
To remind people, like, Spider-Man's in a corner here. Like, he's really been put up against a wall, which is completely unjustified, but he doesn't have, at least not in this movie, he doesn't have someone like Tony in his corner who can like go before Congress or, do whatever he has to do to like, show that, he was framed. But so it's an interesting concept. It's really like a making of the man kind of moment for Spider-Man, I think, here.
I almost forget that aspect of it. I mean, like, it's been a while. Like, honestly, I need to go back and watch the Homecoming and No Way Home. I mean, oh my God, Far From Home.
Far From Home, yeah.
Oh, geez. But yeah, I almost forget that aspect. Not only that they revealed Peter Parker, but also the public's misled to believe that he killed Mysterio. So yeah, it's an aspect of it I constantly kind of.
It was on TV the other day, and like I was watching it, and I was remembering like there's definitely a lot in this movie I didn't enjoy. Like I like this movie as a Spider-Man movie, but like the whole Mysterio thing, like I really didn't like that. I didn't like the reveal, and so you know, overall, I enjoyed that movie.
Was it when he turned around and was like,
there was so much goofy about the whole reveal was just it was too goofy. Like there's a way to do that whole like shrouded in mystery and like whole bait and switch thing without it being so goofy. Like yeah, it's an old movie. I don't want to get into the details of it. But
go back to our like second episode. It's been that a long time ago, but go back to that one. I remember when we did that. I remember me having some fears whether or not, because at that point we didn't have this movie guaranteed to us. This was the last at the time. That was the last movie on the docket for their like contract with Marvel and Sony. So I remember thinking, wow. If they set all this up and they aren't able to follow up on it, man, I remember just thinking and just being like, gosh, I hope they work something out. But they did, and then some. So here we freaking go.
Yep.
Anyways, man, I feel like I can talk about this stuff for ages until the movie freaking comes out and I see it, and then talk about it some more. But yeah, we'll probably wrap up. Yeah, man. I'm going to go see West Side Story. Probably not going to talk too much about that on the podcast, but I'm going to go see West Side Story.
Looks good.
Yeah, it looks good. I'm interested in why, like Steven Spielberg doing this. It's interesting to me as far as like, like what, like it's weird because I don't really understand why he would approach this. I mean, I say that because like, there's certain movies that in my mind don't really need a remake, and West Side Story was like, yeah, this is fine the way it is. There's no like thing you could like, even like arguably with Cats, there was a reason to do that. It ended up being bad, but it makes sense that we're going to make this on one, because it doesn't have a film adaptation. Two, technology would help. It's just the way they did it was poor. And so I don't really understand, well, especially a director like Steven Spielberg, why he'd be like, I'm going to tackle this giant musical, but I don't know. I'll see.
Yeah.
What you got coming up, Luke?
Oh shoot. I mean,
gotcha.
I never talk about it on watching / playing, but I mean, football season is in full swing, and there's been a lot of changes in the college football. Our hometown team, fired their coach, and then just recently this week, or actually like yesterday, hired a new coach. So that's been something I've been keeping up with. And, I play fantasy football. So, we're kind of wrapping up. We have the last like 4 or 5 weeks of games, and it'll be wrapped up. Yeah, just been enjoying that a lot. Of course, Halo Infinite. I mean, that's just like my life right now. Just so everybody knows, like that's when it comes down to it, that is the game I'm the biggest fan.
That's the one.
Always have been. I've always, I love so many games, but Halo Infinite, well, Halo, and most recently Halo Infinite, just a lot of fun. So
yeah,
when I do have spare time, I try to put it into Halo Infinite.
I feel like my training will occur within the confines of the campaign. That is where I feel like I will make some improvements, because I'm going to dive into the campaign, like, and commit to finishing that, because yeah, I mean, I like conceptually what I'm seeing here, like kind of a semi-open world kind of situation, similar to Halo 1. And yeah, I mean, it looks gorgeous, and I'm ready to dive into that. And I feel like I'll learn the ropes a lot more playing, because I jumped in again over the weekend, and man, even worse than like, I guess a lot of people having time to practice, I got trounced frequently. Like Amber was watching me, and she was just like, oof. I could tell she was holding back, like being like, you're terrible. But yeah, oh boy. But yeah, looking forward to that
You
campaign.
should play with people that help you.
Yeah, absolutely. Not just a bunch of randos. I don't know. I kept saying like there's 11 other people on this team. I can't be the reason we're losing. Those big team battles.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
All right, man. We'll see you next week.
See you.
Recording stop.